Hi,
Hello.
howdy.
How are you? Good.
Getting there.
Yeah. Today is a really strange day. Like, I just feel like it's a real downhill day for a lot of people. I know like right now in my household, it's nuts. Um, so I'm downstairs on the couch to be away from all the noise. I was like this close to canceling this call, but anyway, we're here. We made it. Okay. So I've got some questions of yours to answer. I know that. I want to go through today the a couple of things that I want you guys to know about. And a request that I have, not really a request. I mean, I've asked a couple of you this in like through your DMs and socials and things like that. But I will ask that. And I'm curious to know people's like biggest takeaways from the coaching calls as well. So I'll ask that at the end. So if you just want to stay on, we'll make it no more than half an hour so that we're all here. Glad to see everyone. Happy to see you, Amanda. I know you're feeling terribly, so thanks for showing up. I appreciate that. Okay, so
No props.
so this week's prize is the RMS Beauty Kit. Now, I love RMS so much. They are such a clean science brand. And the great thing about them is they're so accessible. So they sell them in, I think it's Sephora or Mecca. I don't know. I can't remember where I got it from. They're the only two shops I ever go in, and I have a look, and there's always clean beauty brands and green beauty and all this stuff. And 99% of them that say that they are not, which is really frustrating. So RMS is all of their products are really low tox, which is so great, and they like create like a really beautiful, like, you know, fresh dewy look. So I really wanted to choose a brand that I used, and you know, I know that it's, you know, it's all around how we look and feel, but we want to look our best without sacrificing those toxins and polluting our bodies with that stuff. And I know now that you've learned a lot more about estrogen, detoxification, endocrine disrupting chemicals, and the links to, you know, other hormonal syndromes and illnesses and how important that really is. I hope that, you know, kind of product by product, don't overwhelm yourself, but product by product, you're starting to go through and think, okay, what can I change that's maybe a little bit more low tox? I mean, I would imagine that you guys being my community prior to this anyway would have already done that. But if there is anything that you can think of, anything that you touch that's plastic, one thing I always talk about is your phone case. It's a huge one for endocrine disruption. You know, so if you have one that's like plastic or, you know, some form of plastic, it is really important to just take note because you hold that all day long. And things like coffee cups as well, really important. Lucy, are you yawning, or are you like, oh, you're yawning? Oh, girlfriend, I know. So I'm really excited for that prize. The prize I'm like uber excited for though is Lululemon coming on board to say that they were going to donate a $700 voucher for a new wardrobe. So this is the midway prize. This is like, we're looking, you know, each week I like to award the prize to the person I felt like really deserved it in that week. But this is going to take a step back and look overall at who I really feel like really deserves to win that. And yeah, I'm really excited. I really hope that I don't really know exactly where everyone is from or like where exactly you live, but if they are from Sydney, and I'm not going to base my decision on this, but if they are from Sydney, then the Warringah Mall girls have said to me that they're willing to do a shopping experience, so like a personal VIP experience where they fit you in the store. And if you're in Sydney too, bags coming with you on your adventure to shop for your new wardrobe. So so you must involve me. You must include me. And I thought it would be so nice. Like, you know, I can, you know, get some video of it for them as well to, you know, say thank you for what an amazing prize that really is. They're such an awesome brand. And I know the fabrics and things like that, they're, you know, it's not like they're, you know, made from, you know, plants and compostable themselves, but they're such slow fashion that these pieces will last you for years and years and years and years. And because they look so good, Like, I feel like that's a good trade-off. You know, we want to look our best, but we also want, you know, items that like we feel really, we feel gorgeous in, especially when we go to train, or, you know, we're in our active wear and our athleisure kind of wear, like as we sort of, you know, going about our day. So I am over the moon and so stoked at how generous Lululemon was. So yeah, so there's also that option for anyone who's in, oh God, I can just hear Phoenix going off his tree upstairs. It's just hard to hear. I have a request. My request is, if you guys have any like raw videos that you think that you have, like a video that you have downloaded, or I should say have taken on your camera roll itself, so like not within the Instagram app, if there's any that you have in your phone, can you just flick them to me? I feel like it's just so helpful when I make, you know, like reels and things like that, and content to really share what you guys are doing. But sometimes with the reposts, they have like a weird like framing. So yeah, if you do have any, then just, you know, shoot them through. It's not compulsory, but you know, if you have any in your phone, just flick them through. It just through Instagram is fine. So these 2 weeks coming up are the hardest weeks. So kind of like the end of week 3 and like week 3 to week 4 and week 4 to week 5. I find those are the hardest week for people. It can really make or break your experience. So that's really important to know. And I really want you guys to really think about, you know, regardless of what's happened before, looking at now what's coming up, you know, what can you do? What can you tweak? What can you change to help improve your experience, and to just to make sure that you get the most out of this? Because 6 weeks, you know, I know that you guys have already thought, wow, it's almost the end of week 3. Like that has really flown. So just, you know, make sure that you keep up that momentum, and you just reevaluate what's worked well, what have you struggled with, and how can you just really keep up that momentum, remembering it's only 6 weeks of your entire life. And I know that you already know, because you've already started to see how amazing these changes are in your body already, that imagine a lifetime of keeping this up, what that would look like, you know. You'd just be thriving. I have reopened the self-paced version of the challenge, which basically means that instead of doing it as a group intake, people can just drop in whenever they are ready to do it. There's 6 weeks left till Christmas, so I feel like it's a perfect time. If you have friends or family, I know your sister has contacted me as well, so I was like, yep, just come on in. So that opened up yesterday or the day before, I don't even know what day it is. So if you do have friends or family, it would just be so great. I know it's so quick, it's so close. If you have friends and family, I'd love for them to join, because they could be part of the same Facebook group. So we're all, you know, in it. Old FlowFit foxes, the OGs are still in there as well. Yeah, and it would just be so fun. Like imagine like missing out on the prizes and the opportunity, but then coming in and seeing how like supportive you guys all are of each other, seeing people's ups and downs, what's worked for them, you know, the week 1 vlogs that gave their advice. Like that would be so valuable for somebody coming in, and especially if it's somebody that you know, it would just be so nice. Like, you know, I think of, you know, Nat and her sister. Wouldn't that be so nice for her? Oh, she didn't mention. Oh, okay. Well, she reached out to me, Nat. Yeah, it'd be so cool, because then she gets to go, oh, wow, like look how well Nat's doing, and I've seen what she's doing, and I've seen what it's about, and I'm only a few weeks behind her, so I can see exactly where I'm going to be in 3 weeks and all the benefits that I'm going to get. And I think it's just so motivating, especially before, you know, the end of the year. Okay, and the other thing is, I have a webinar coming up on Tuesday. I would love if you guys would be there. You know that the main prize, I know, Sarah, you already registered. I saw that. I think somebody else did. I can't remember who it was. Yeah, so this webinar is all about the opportunity that a K8, that is the main prize, will actually provide you. So I, again, am going to keep this really impartial. I want the person who genuinely wins this program to be the overall winner, even if it's somebody who already owns one of these machines. But I want it to give you guys an education as to really like this opportunity, how much it's changed my life. You know, I have come from this business being, you know, all this financial pressure on this business, and it was just a passion-driven business for me. And I want to do this by choice. And I do it for like, because I just really truly want to make an impact on the world, on the fitness industry. Like, I want to change and transform it. So it's really given me, I guess, like, it's really alleviated a lot of financial pressure for me, for this business to be the thing that kind of pays my bills. So I really just get to do this now because I love it so much. And for me, that's everything. You know, I used to be a personal trainer, and when I became a personal trainer, I lost all my zest for like working out, because I was like in the gym and that was my place of work. So kind of like, for me, it's like that parallel, but in the online space. So yeah, I really want to share with you. Yeah, birth work. Yeah, Lucy, I feel you as well. I really want to share with you what an incredible opportunity, if you win this machine and you aren't already part of the Wildly Empowered Collective, what an opportunity this will really give you. And I really hope that if you don't win and you were considering it anyway, that this will be a really valuable webinar for you to come on and to learn about, because I'm answering all the questions. I'm literally like, how do I cram all this information into 1 hour? There's so much to tell you. So yeah, and I am genuinely so excited by it as well. And yes, of course, I've got skin in the game, but I wouldn't put my name to something that was going to risk my reputation. So yeah, I'm all about it. I love it. Now, Sammy, I've written here on my notes. Oh, sorry, that webinar is Tuesday. So if you do want to be part of that webinar, just make sure you DM me and I'll send you the link. Sammy, your question I've got written here. Questions, Sammy's questions, and right now I can't remember what it is. So I'm glad you're here. Otherwise, I would have had to look up in the Facebook group. Can you tell me what your question was again? Because I had a couple of, you know what? I've just remembered it.
Premenstrual insomnia.
Yeah. So, there's a couple of things that could be helpful. So obviously we've got de-stress tea, which can be helpful if you brew that really strong and you have it throughout the day. What we're doing here is we are correcting the circadian rhythm and we are reducing stress. That's the two main parts here, the two main moving parts. So with all of the 3 daily practices that you have with the FlowFit challenge, you've still got grounding, meditation, and journaling. Those things will help to regulate your nervous system. Other things that will help you regulate your nervous system do include things like acupuncture. Like acupuncture could definitely help, but more simply, your circadian rhythm relies on your exposure to light. And the times in the day where it's most important for you to get that light is when the color of the sky changes. So it's pretty much sunrise, the middle of the day, and sunset. And so remember that that's pretty much the 3 like main meals. So if you can eat your meals outside, that's kind of a good just benchmark to make sure that you're doing that. Now, I have, it looks like you're moving on. Now I have seen that like you do try to spend a lot of time outside, but I also know you work at like a stressful job. So trying to get out at those peak times of the day is really important. And to protect your circadian rhythm, because you want cortisol high in the morning, but you want it low at nighttime, then you can do more practices that calm you down towards the night. Don't work out in the nighttime. Don't do anything stressful in the nighttime if you can avoid it. And also be really conscious of your screen time and, if you are on your phone or anything like that. Like I said, acupuncture can be really helpful. There are some adaptogens that can be really helpful as well. But I just want to make sure that you're doing those base things first. You would be amazed. Yeah, Amanda just said, try to go outside first thing of a morning. That is exactly what I'm talking about. So trying to make sure that you're doing that and really catching those transitional times of day is really important. And blue light, I was literally about to say that, Luce, the blue light on your phone. So you can have that like red, I'll show you what it looks like if anyone doesn't know. So like I've set it up so that when I press this button, see how it goes red? Yeah. I would have to remember how I did that, but I'm sure someone knows. If not, I'll research it again and figure it out. But that can be helpful too. Now, it's not reducing all blue light because that's a blue light screen. So your screen is LED, but it will help to reduce it. Other things, if you want to get really funky and really sexy at nighttime, there's also like Elton John glasses you can wear that are like red frames. So those can help to block all blue and green light as well. And again, it's just, oh, thanks, Lucy. Lucy will tell you, she'll post in the chat how to do that on your phone. It's just really important to make sure you're protecting those circadian rhythms so that you've got the two hormones that are most important for nighttime. That is low cortisol and high melatonin. So low cortisol is obviously all about the stress. Your melatonin is about your outdoor exposure and your exposure to light. So that's really important as well. Are there any other questions that anyone's posted in the group chat? Sleep meditation tracks are helpful too. Yeah, binaural beats. I don't know if you've ever used those, Sammy. Binaural beats. Have you heard of those? No. So if you go to Insight Timer and you search binaural, which is BINAURAL, binaural beats, they're specific like wavelengths to help your brain go into I think it's a theta state, a theta brainwave, which I'm pretty sure is sleep. I don't know right this second if it's, yeah, Baxter Blues. Baxter Blues, but there's also another brand that I used to use called Blue Blocks, Blublox, but they changed their name and I can't remember what they changed their name to, because Baxter Blues are good, but Blue Blocks are 100% green and blue light, like they're like next level. But yeah, but Baxter Blues are good ones as well. They're very good for digital eye strain, if that also helps. Grace says they are also having a Black Friday sale. Oh yeah, Black Friday. Get your money out. Yeah, so look, there's lots of tools. I hope some of those help. Just maybe layering those in. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just that sensitivity in that second half when estrogen is high and progesterone is low. It's just you can get quite inflamed, and because estrogen is that anabolic hormone, it just can really attribute to your inflammation, and so all inflammatory hormones go up, like insulin, like cortisol, you know. So it is a matter of just, it will become a lot more balanced as time goes on. Yeah. I will try and get outside more, and I've listened to the color waves. Thank you. Awesome. Yes. Does anybody else have any other questions at the moment?
I do.
Yes, Talitha.
Hello. I was just wondering, because I've moved over this week to the second cycle,
Yep.
and second half, sorry, my cycle. And like I've been loving the food plans of both the first and the second, but I was just wondering just a little bit more detail, just what the difference is between them. So
Yep.
I know that you said in the other video in regards to insulin, like you've tried to make sure we get enough of everything in both the first and the second. But just for interest sake, just for later on, I just just what's the difference, I suppose, between both of them?
Yeah. The main differences are that with the food, there's a difference in calories. So in the second half, in the second half, you'll find that you're just naturally more hungry, and you might think to yourself, oh, hold on a second, but I don't eat more in the second half. But that's why you train less.
Oh my gosh, I actually have been like, why am I hungrier? And I'm like,
yes.
Oh, I wasn't like this. Okay.
Yep. And that's a few things. When it's hormonal imbalance, it's usually cortisol is so easy to spike. But when it's hormonal balance, it's progesterone is actually very helpful for our metabolism. And so we naturally burn a few hundred more calories, which is kind of the equivalent to about 2 of the workouts that we have. So it's all it's already kind of set up so that like the amount of food that you eat doesn't really change. And again, over time, it will not change at all, but you'll just probably have like those 2 slow flow days on top of your 2 rest days will probably just come more naturally, and you won't be you won't notice that big spike or that big change in hunger. I mean, look, over time, as your metabolism starts to increase more and more and more, you'll be hungrier overall, like just every day in general. But when you've got that real difference in the 2 halves, that either means in the second half you're under eating, or in the second half you're overtraining, whether you have hormonal balance or you don't, because of those two different hormones, like cortisol being like kind of like the negative version of that, and the positive, like more positive, like ideal version being that actually it's because our metabolism's a little bit faster in the second half. So that's why we love progesterone. It helps us. The more that we, you know, tap into that reduced stress and really like looking after ourselves, the higher our progesterone and the more that our hormones do the work for us. You know, like it does work for us in terms of, you know, burning our calories and making sure our systems are really efficient, making our brain zen and calm. Like, you know, those are like two words that we've all probably said about a million times lately, but that's because we are improving the amount of progesterone that we have in the second half, and we're really tapping into those brain hormones. And that's like a really great benefit of progesterone as well. It's like the best hormone ever.
So it's normal that I feel hungry, or should I like not be feeling hungry in the next second half?
Yeah, look, yes, over time, that will kind of, you know, plateau until your overall metabolism increases. But like I said, when your overall metabolism increases and you have that hormonal balance, if I'm losing anyone, just let me know. But when you have overall hormonal balance and all the hormones are ideal, all the fluctuations are correct, and we're supporting our body effectively, as we continue to train and eat in that way, we will have like this good spiral upwards of being able to burn fat more efficiently. And then overall, we'll probably need more food in general. So it won't just be in that second half that you'll notice it. Grace, you just said, so interesting, I was hungrier on the first half plans, but then you got your period. So actually, my theory is, and I was actually going to say this, I just had a feeling that you were actually coming in like in a second half. Like I could feel that it was close in terms of like, as soon as you started, your body was like, oh, I like this. And your body must have ovulated as soon as you started going, this is it. This is what I want. So see that time. And I would think that you would have had a bit of a shorter like luteal phase. But that timing kind of makes sense for me in my mind. Your body a couple of days in was like, yep, this feels good. And then I actually think you would have been in your second half after that, even though you were eating in the first half, like, you know, plans and all that sort of stuff. But because we do such a good job in the first half and the second half of being able to balance your blood sugar, it would have kept your inflammation a lot lower, and it would have avoided a lot of spikes that you would have maybe normally had in the past. Sorry, I just wanted to point that out. Talitha, did that answer your question? Sorry, I didn't want to just answer it and then like shoot to Grace, but does that answer your question?
Yes, no, it does. Thank you so much.
Yeah, my pleasure. Yeah. Have the questions for our vlog this week been posted in the Facebook group? That's what I haven't done. I'm in the thick of teething season. It's really hard. I'm not getting much sleep. So I will absolutely do that for you. Vlog questions. Yeah. And I don't know if everyone has been able to hear, but for the last 25 minutes, Phoenix has been crying. You know, you just got to roll with it. Amanda, what adaptogen do you recommend to support crazy stress? Ashwagandha. Yeah, mum life. Yes. Ashwagandha, rhodiola can be really nice for some people, but it just depends. I just find across the board, ashwagandha would be nice. And Sammy, I would recommend ashwagandha for you as well. It's just a really beautiful herb. And I'm not really meant to tell you this, but I'm not actually meant to tell you like supplements to get as a nutritionist, but if you were looking for one that was over the counter and helpful, Herbs of Gold have a nice one called Stress Ease. And it's quite supportive. Just be mindful, there's licorice in there. So say for Crystal, when she watches this replay, if she was like, oh, I want to get it, like having higher blood pressure would mean that, no, you can't, Crystal. don't do licorice just in case. Wait till your blood pressure comes down and then you're good. And that will be the same for anybody that experiences high blood pressure. Mother's Blend. Is that the Forages one, Luce? Yeah. Foraged. What medicinal mushrooms are in it? Or do you just think in general, how do I feel about it? Because I know it's just read it out to me. Read it out.
All right. Ingredients: organic fermented blend powder, red lentils, camu broccoli, chlorella, spinach, pepitas, beetroot. Organic beetroot juice powder, freeze-dried grass-fed and free-range beef liver powder, organic Atlantic kelp powder, and that's it.
Okay. I actually would have thought it had more beef liver in there.
Yeah.
I thought it was quite like high. That's interesting. I mean, look, as an overall like superfood kind of powder, I think it's great. It sounds like it's basically like, to me, that sounds like a food-based multivitamin, which is great because it's powder. And anytime you have like a capsule, that capsule, like let's say in a supplement form, that capsule is like a barrier to entry. So your body has to break that capsule down. And if you don't have great digestion, that can sometimes be a barrier to absorbing all of it. But I mean, it sounds great as a, you know, as like, yeah, like a food-based multivitamin. Oh, Phoenix is really struggling, guys. I wouldn't normally do this, but he sounds like he's really struggling. If anybody has any extra questions, please let me know for sure. I'm just trying to think of if there's anything else I was going to tell you.
I just had one D, but you can answer it back later. It was just I can't load the coaching calls in my app. I don't know if anyone else has got that issue, but I can't.
No.
Okay, maybe it's me. I'll just try and update it. I'll see if I can do that.
Yeah. See if you can update it. See if you can log in, log out, and see if that makes a difference. And if it doesn't, I don't know. I'll log into your like account in the back end and just see if there's anything that is like that I can see that is getting flagged. Otherwise, I will just physically send you the links so that you have them because they're on YouTube anyways.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Amazing. Thanks everybody. I really wanted to get shares on the coaching calls, but yeah, we're out of time. And like you know that when you hear your baby crying, it's like the most stressful thing ever. So I'm gonna wrap it up here. Cannot wait for tomorrow. It's literally my favorite day of the week because I just love to hear your shares. So I will see you all tomorrow and I will send those questions tonight. Okay, bye everyone. Bye.